Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. Um, I'm doing a reaction on some information that I got from basically, let's just say, boots on the ground in Maui, by someone who sent me some information. Um, I had to basically copy and paste onto my notepad and read it from there on my computer, as to not put out the identification of the person that wrote it to me through email. But I'll read right through it, so people can get a better understanding of what's going on in the burn zone in Maui and what's going on with the cleanup. But also, after this, I do have a video clip that I want everyone to see, by another YouTube content creator by the name of Brush Junkie, I believe. And that one's very informative, and it's about the police chief. But before I continue, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers both here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, pass it around, spread the awareness of what's going on in Maui, because it's not over by a long shot. If you want to help support the channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal and my merch store, True Outlaw Patriot. So, without further ado, I'm going to read this so everybody can get an idea of what's going on with the people that own property that has been destroyed and what's going on about it. So, it says right here, excuse me, not a single building permit has been granted within the Lahaina burn zone since the August 9th, 2023 fire, I guess they meant to put. I do not think removing the foundation is half the problem. Now, the reason why they're saying that, from what they told me, was something to do that if the foundations of the structures are no good, they can't be built on. But supposedly, the owners, if they get rid of the foundation, they're not allowed to re-pour another foundation. So that right there is something that's very, very suspect. But in fact, there have been no building permit applications turned in for the burn zone, researched at Building Permits Division, County of Maui. If there is a plan to keep property owners from rebuilding what they lost, it is working. The Lahaina burn area is almost entirely small house lots and commercial properties. Maui County Emergency Management reported 2,207 structures were damaged in the fire, with 86% residential and 9% commercial, allowing property owners to get to work. Rebuilding on their small lots is the best guarantee that Lahaina will not be forced by eminent domain and turned over to resort developers. The opposite is happening. Homeowners are being made to wait outside the burn zone while politically connected companies receive a $52.5 million contract award for toxic material removal. The contract going to Christopher Dawson, the founder and chairman of the Hawaiian Native Corp. And CEO of Dawson Construction, who has stepped down shortly before July 2023 and right before an FBI raid. FBI will neither confirm nor deny the raid. Okay, it says now insurance adjusters have been kept out of the burn zone. Okay, a multi-agency task force responsible for the coordination of re-entry procedures for residents to access properties located in the restricted disaster area, with 17 primary zones and 83 subzones established for the 2,170 acres in the 5-mile Lahaina impact area. A systemized process of safety reviews must be completed before re-entry access for residential areas is established. The process includes reviews and authorization by county, state, and federal agencies and utilities. Parcels released for re-entry undergo inspection by the Environmental Protection Agency for hazardous materials, the County of Maui Highways Division for road access safety, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for structural safety, the County of Maui Department of Water Supply for water quality and sewer function that meet safety standards, and safety inspection of electric and gas lines by Hawaiian Electric and Hawaii Gas. Once a zone is announced for re-entry, property owners and tenants in the zone can only apply in person to verify their ownership or occupancy and pick up their vehicle passes. The property owner must then opt in. Opting in by signing a right of entry is necessary to participate in the hazardous debris cleanup program from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, has assigned the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to survey, remove and dispose of hazardous materials from all properties impacted. Phase 2 is the removal of the remaining structural ash and debris as well as soil testing to ensure the site is clean, safe for rebuilding, and free of potentially leach toxins. Phase 2 again, cleanup. Phase 2 cleanup can only initiate after Phase 1 hazardous material removal is completed by the Army Corps of Engineers and their contractors. In exchange for the debris removal performed through the government-sponsored program, the property owner agrees that any insurance proceeds in their homeowner's insurance policy designated for debris removal will be collected. Now, this right here I have a problem with, okay? And I'm only saying that because obviously the debris cleanup, it's going to be a lot more than just regular cleanup because this is hazardous material cleanup. So there's going to be a lot more safety precautions taken, which means that unless I'm getting it wrong, but unless the insurance adjusters give enough money to pay for that cleanup that these government agencies are going to charge, I'm wondering if they're not, but the bill is still going to be high, which means it's going to deplete whatever insurance money the property owners are going to get. That's just my thoughts, but let's continue. Once USACE completes debris removal, they will turn over the right of entry to the county. The property owner should coordinate any occupancy and improvement requirements with the county, i.e. building permit. Okay, it goes down to this, says, but wait, there is more. What is common law? Common law, property damage is if the property is damaged less than 50%, the owner may repair, even if the structure is not in conformity with the existing zoning and other restrictions. For example, when the zoning has changed since the time of the original construction. If the damage exceeds the 50% threshold, the usual rule is that there is no right to repair a structure in such a way that does not conform to the present regulations and restrictions. Depending on the applicable zoning and other regulations, you may be able to build something, but that something may not be the same structure that was there before, or you might not be able to build anything, depending on what regulations apply. Now, people, if this goes this way, okay, Maui's lost. Plain and simple. If this goes this way where the governor, the mayor, all city officials, all city agencies, government agencies, if this goes this way where they're not going to grant anybody any permits to rebuild, Maui's lost. Okay? The people of Maui have lost 100%. Because unless anybody has noticed, and I'm sure everybody has, the government, the federal government, the president, for that matter, anybody taking this up to the Supreme Court, nobody has stepped in to help the people in Maui. But let's continue. Okay. As an example, a standard building permit division website contains the following Q&A. Can my house be rebuilt if it is destroyed by fire or flood? Answer, yes. Any legal dwelling unit destroyed by fire or flood can be rebuilt. Can Governor Green's Housing Emergency Task Force go on record making the same statement? Can Maui County? Here is their response. As of right now, we do not have any process put in place. We are hoping to hear back from our administration on what the procedure will be. Building Permits Division, County of Maui. And they are still waiting. That's the first part. Here's the second part. Okay, unveiling the truth, Lahaina fires the hidden timeline. Here's a description, and this is by somebody who, I guess that they got this part of another agency. It says, join us as we uncover the untold story behind the Lahaina fires on August 8, 2023, and the concealed timeline orchestrated by key authorities. Delve into the intricate web of events involving the Maui County Mayor, Governor Green, FEMA, and the Army Corps of Engineers, alongside the Maui County Planning Departments. Witness the shocking revelations: not a single building permit has been granted within the Lahaina burn zone since the disaster. leaving property owners in limbo. Explore how this deliberate tactic threatens the very fabric of Lahaina's community, hindering the rebuilding process and potentially paving the way for resort developers. Now, I said months ago on a lot of my videos that they're going to find a way on how to take this property, and it's going to be along these lines of how they're going to change the rebuilding laws and how they're going to make it seem as if, you know what, nothing can be rebuilt because either the ground is too contaminated or just something was going to come where they won't be able to afford it if they got to pay for cleanup or anything like that. And it seems that now, okay, with this new information, it's all tied together. Okay? That it's all tied together on top of the fact of how much time it's going to take. Where they're probably also hoping that that's where a lot more people will start losing interest and just want to sell out or just walk away so they can take over. Like I said before, like a lot of people were thinking and are still thinking, a government land grab. But, okay. It says, discover the struggle faced by homeowners as politically connected companies secure hefty contracts while insurance adjusters are barred from assessing damages, leaving survivors in a state of uncertainty. Join us as we navigate through the complexities of the reentry process, the hazardous material removal program, and the hurdles faced by residents and businesses alike in their quest for restoration. This is what I find very strange, and I'm gonna bring it up. They sent Ukrainian small business owners money in one of their packages about 2 months ago or more than that, so that they wouldn't close down because of the war that's going on in Ukraine. Why hasn't Biden and the government done the same for the business owners in Lahaina? Think about that. But let's continue. Through exclusive insights and first-hand accounts, we shed light on the ongoing battle for justice, accountability, and the right to rebuild. Don't miss this eye-opening expose on the aftermath of the Lahaina fires and the resilience of its people. Stay tuned for the full story. Okay, on August 8th, 2023, Lahaina, a picturesque town nestled along Maui's coast, was engulfed in flames. What ensued was not just a disaster, but a tale of concealed truth and hidden agenda. In the aftermath, the Maui County Mayor, Governor Green, FEMA, and the Army Corps of Engineers were tasked with orchestrating the rebuilding process, but what unfolded was a timeline shrouded in secrecy and manipulation. Not a single building permit has been granted within the Lahaina burn zone since the fateful day. Property owners left in a state of limbo are met with bureaucratic hurdles and red tape hindering their efforts to rebuild what they lost. Meanwhile, politically connected companies under FBI investigation secured lucrative contracts for toxic material removal, further exacerbating the plight of the affected community. But perhaps the most egregious of all is the deliberate exclusion of insurance adjusters from the burn zone, leaving survivors in a state of uncertainty and financial distress. Survivors have been left waiting for months, unable to assess the extent of their losses. It's a travesty of justice. Despite promises of support, the re-entry process is marred by delays and bureaucratic inefficiencies. Residents are left grappling with hazardous conditions and uncertainty. As the battle for justice and accountability rages on, one thing remains clear: the resilience of the Lahaina community will not be extinguished. Join us in our quest for truth and justice. Together we can ensure that the voices of the affected community are heard and that the hidden timeline of the Lahaina fires is brought to light. Now, listening to all this, what I just read, this is not, in case anybody wants to say, well, this is just some person's opinion. No, it's not, because it all just ties in to all the corruption that's been going on, all the secrecy, all the unanswered questions. Okay, since this whole thing started last year, back in August, and once again, it's getting less and less media coverage, and then the smaller media outlets like in Maui, like Maui Alert, they're being harassed by the cops. Okay, so let's not let this be like, oh well, this is just a story somebody wrote you. No, it's not. Okay, This information was given to me by somebody that lives in Maui, and they have been affected, and many of their family and friends have been affected, okay, by what's going on. But anyway, the next video clip I'm going to show you, I'm not going to try to cut into it too much. I want you to hear supposedly a private conversation that happened with the police chief and two other parties. But here we go. Okay, now this video clip is put up by Brush Junkie. I believe it was a day ago, it says right here. So listen to what she has to say. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Tracy and thank you for tuning in today. So in today's video, I'm going to be playing recordings from a meeting that took place between Clyde Holkai, who is a retired assistant police chief from the Maui Police Department.
And just so you know, quickly, I'm going to leave in my description a link to her, to this video for her, so you guys can go and show her some love on her channel. But let's continue.
And Chief John Pelletier, along with his deputy, Charles Hank. So you're going to hear three different voices. And I'll put the names down below if you're not as familiar with who is speaking. But to kind of sum up this meeting, and it is a long meeting, it's about an hour and a half, actually a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to just pick out things that I thought were significant. And the main purpose, and I confirmed this with Clyde, is they wanted to get a feel for where Clyde stands as far as the new administration, if they're going to be able to control him and get him in line with what they want to do. And I think you'll hear for yourself. I'll let you guys hear it and you can decide, you know, what happened there. They're also going to lay down the rules. He makes it clear that Pelletier makes it clear that he is the administration. So whatever he says goes. And he brings that up, that comes up a number of times. I'm also going to play a clip of Charles Hank talking about a meeting that took place in Vegas between three guys from Hawaii that came to meet with them over coffee. And I think that is the meeting that Commissioner Rediker got a ethics violation for, because he went to Vegas and it's assumed that he told Pelletier how to answer the questions and how to basically ace his interview and testing when he went for the chief position, which is an ethics violation. That is sensitive information that should not have been given to him before. And we're pretty sure we know that happened. So I'll play that. And also this theme of them trying to make the Maui Police Department a model of policing for other cities in the future, not just for...
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. You know, if that is true, what she's saying that they said, God help us. Because to tell you the truth, I'm not saying that all the police officers in Hawaii under this man's, command are corrupt. But from what we've seen so far since this fire has happened, they have a lot of goons working in that squad. Okay, a lot of goons, and that is not the kind of police force that I would have to say 95% of police around this country want. Never mind the citizens. Okay, regardless of what people hear, I know there's corrupt cops out there. There's bad apples out there, and there's not a few. Let's not be ignorant about it. But thank God we also have good cops on the force. Okay, to bring that balance. And this is the last thing we need for them to start saying, "Oh, this is the kind of modeling we need in police forces all around the U.S." It'll just be chaos every day. But let's continue.
For the state of Hawaii, but for the entire country. So that is their mission, and they said it themselves. You can hear it. So I thought, these topics were worthwhile. It's a very long conversation, as I said. So I'll upload in a separate video the entire conversation so you can hear for yourself. So here are the recordings.
There's a term.
That's very fair.
Okay, there's a term, and we have to, because I'm not going to candy coat some of this. The administration is me.
Yeah, I
The
get it.
administration is me, and we all march to the same drum. And if I have somebody that's gonna go against the administration, that's not gonna go very well for them. You know, and I don't like the bullshit, and let's be very clear, I know all about it. And so, I haven't,
There's no bullshit, Chief.
no.
Secondly, this is what I heard, and I'm bringing it up, I'm not putting the guy out, but that guy in this room said it. Okay, this is what I heard, and it's gotta stop. We are the leaders of this department,
Say it about you, about him.
about me,
So what they say about you?
that they were gonna work with him to remove me from my position. I know, I didn't think what you had all for
Hold on, let me make sure if I may, so what you're saying is, you had heard about a captain that's on this agency, do you mind saying who?
I would rather not, because we had worked it out, I'm sorry.
We just trying.
We had worked it out.
That's fair, we respect that, but so just to stay with it, you heard about a captain on this agency that was going to work with him to remove you.
Something to that effect.
But all the captains, and we're here to make this community better.
Now I'm gonna pause it real quick. You know, that wouldn't surprise me if that's what they did, okay? Because a lot of people that have put 15, 20 years of service actually resigned when Pelletier became police chief. And the question I still have, and I think a lot of people also have, is why did they pick this man to be police chief? Okay, if he was all the way out in Vegas. But let's continue.
And as he said, his desire is to make this a model agency, not just for the islands, but for the whole country. And I think we have an opportunity to do that. Because I'm gonna just keep it real. What I heard about you, okay, what I heard about you, I heard you were coming for us. I heard you trying to, I'm just gonna keep it real.
I'm glad you are. I'm sure you guys did hear that.
Take us out. I heard you didn't want us here. I heard you didn't care about us.
It's been brought up that we've all heard things about each other.
You know, it sounds like there was a lot of dysfunction going on, a lot of corruption going on, and you know, I mean, to look at this from the outside, this is a perfect movie script, okay, of like, you know, mafia tactics and corruption and political corruption. I mean, it's the perfect movie script, okay. And then on top of that, a disaster that happened that affected thousands of people, and yet they did nothing to help them out. I mean, this is like the perfect movie. It just has everything. But let's continue.
In a spirit of love, moving forward, unity, let's all agree to just judge each other on what we see right from here.
All right, that's fair.
You know?
All right.
I know
Well, that
you
was
guys
a lot
are
to
talking
see.
People that, and this is me. You work, I'm gonna be your best friend. You don't work, or you're a crooked cop, I'm gonna be your worst enemy. You look at my.
Now that right there, when he said, "You're going to be a crooked cop, you're my worst enemy," why do I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back? That went against this man. Because, like I said, and this is not just me talking. You know, there's testimony out there of the higher ups that resigned, and I think it was because of that. They didn't want to be part of a corrupt system. They didn't want to be under a corrupt leader. But that's my opinion. Let's continue.
Our record speaks for itself. We've gone after, when I was a captain of the city, we put away plenty of cops. It was dirty. And I hated it, but I'll do it again. Guys dealing dope. One of my good friends who I used to train with hurt me to do it. I'll do it again. You know? One of the things that is working against you is something that you alluded to in your interview about us being corrupt.
Until November, to the final confirmation meeting took place before I had sent this out. And I know that there was a shakeup. Let's not sit here and,
Yeah.
what does this mean? And, you know, it's, I get it. I do get it.
And mind you, because I'm gonna tell you, when we had this meeting come to us with the 3 guys coming to Vegas when we had coffee, and this was brought up. And here's what was really bothering me, because I was just getting on board, and as I started looking at the Maui news and stuff like that, you know, and he got his caught this knucklehead again, you know, the second time with the Kiki, operation.
Oh, Southfields.
Yeah, got him again. And so, but guess what? What do they keep doing? They keep associating, he's no longer with us, and they keep associating with us. So the public's perception, he gets tied in and he's still one of us. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna pause it real quick. When he said about the Kiki situation, I believe Kiki means children. I don't know exactly what he meant when he said that, but if I'm correct, I would have to think that there was a situation where and like I said, if I'm wrong, somebody leave it in my comments, something to do with children going missing. Okay? Like I said, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'll, you know, on my next video, I'll put out that I'm wrong. I got no problem with that. But I've heard that term before, Kiki, and I believe it means children. But let's continue.
As he's with Maui, PA, and he's not with us.
So something I wanted to make sure you guys got from that conversation is that Clyde is very upfront. He tells them exactly what he heard, and he heard that a captain, along with them, were going to try to take him out of his position. And I think Deputy Hank was a little caught off guard that he knew that. So, you know, props to Clyde for, you know, being honest and just expressing himself very candidly. And that's something I really appreciate from Clyde. He seems to be, you know, an open book, and it didn't feel like he was really holding back. It seems like he let them know what he felt, let them know what was going to happen if they were crooked. And I hope you guys were able to get that from this meeting. And also, Clyde recorded this, or Clyde knew that this was being recorded, but Pelletier and Hank did not. But it's not illegal in Maui. As long as one party knows that there's been a recording, you can release it. So I also wanted to make that clear. So I hope this was helpful, and again, I'll post the entire meeting on another video so you guys can hear everything. So that's gonna do it, and thank you, Clyde.
Okay, so there you go. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to this video so you guys can go on her page and check out her stuff. I believe this is a video she did with that police chief Clyde. You might want to check that out. It's like a 45-minute video. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in this, because it you know, a lot of questions are being raised, and they're going to keep being raised. And in my opinion, there definitely should be there should have been an investigation a long time ago, and there should be extensive investigations now. Like I said, for the life of me, I cannot understand why the federal government hasn't stepped in, why the FBI hasn't stepped in, why Biden hasn't, you know, put anybody out. Why has Congress on both sides of the party, both sides of the aisle, why haven't they got together to put some kind of joint session or whatever the case is together and say, listen, we need to investigate all this going on, and what's going to happen to the people if they can't go back on their property and build because the foundations are no good. You know, I've been saying it, and I've said it many times. This is not over by a long shot for the people in Hawaii. But if the information turns out to be that what they're going to do is make it harder for them to build, you can just say goodbye. Unless the people, if that happens, and unless the people of Maui get together, everybody that was affected, put all their money together, whatever that may be, and start hiring a team of lawyers, this is going to look very bad, and is going to end up being very bad for the people of Maui. And that will be, I mean, that would be the, if not one of the biggest scandals, that would be the biggest scandal in U.S. history when it comes to just a land grab. Okay? It would be horrible. And if that is the case, whoever's involved, remember, God is watching. God is watching. So anyway, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, pass it around. Another quick side note, and I'm going to repeat it as much as I can when I make these videos. The young people of Hawaii need to get together and start standing by each other and start standing by these people that were affected. You know, you guys have the power. You guys are the future. So if anybody watching this that's an adult, you need to keep informing the youth. And if any young people are watching this, you need to put the word out and start rounding up the troops, man, and start standing by your people. This is your land, okay? And it should not be stolen from you. Not at all. And not trying to sound bitter, but as a Native American, I'm not going to point fingers about the past and say this is owed to me now. No, but if you try to forget history, it will repeat itself. And we are in modern times. And this sounds like they're trying to get rid of the natives off of Hawaii, at least off of Maui. But anyway, don't forget to, like I said, comment, like, share, subscribe. If you want to help support the channel, there's links in the description. And remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. And keep praying for the people in Maui and for the missing children. Peace.